By this lady, Jancis Robinson, who is like a big cheese in the wine world. She's actually a cis lady, but I kind of figured she looked like a trans lady. So I was like, I don't know if she can make it, maybe I can. Yeah, Jancis. I love Jancis. She's still an inspiration to me. So I went into the wine trade. I was this total bundle of like mess and like emotional hurt and defensiveness and horribly misguided ideas. And I ended up trying to sell wine to people over the phone. So much for not very cutthroat. And it was a disaster, of course. But now, a decade or so later, I can kind of see the humour in it. I can finally joke about it a bit. So I wrote a poem. It's in 15 little vignettes, but they're very short. It's called How to Be Stealth Whilst Holding Down a Job in Telemarketing. Interview clothes. It is a journey there, first time. 3 trains, then a walk. I'm wearing a trouser suit and the pointy scarlet heels that pinch my toes with bows on the front. I cross the road towards a yellow metal building and try to ignore my hangover. I'm 23 and I feel like such an adult. Phone call. You've only got your voice. Hello, I'm Catherine from your club for wine. I'm calling with some offers just too good to go into our brochures. I emphasize Catherine. He says, young man. I don't react. It's fine. This is my task. To keep them on the phone until they buy to make me stop. Don't sound upset. My boss says sales is all about who cracks. Sometimes they get it right. Fag break. Fag is cigarette in England. Fag break. Alyssa offers me Reiki. She says it's her passion. James is scheming to make a fortune. His hair is shiny and neat. I talk about poetry. How did we all get involved in this? Bathroom. It's halfway through a call. I think, oh, fuck! I don't know where it is! It came this morning as I left. It says I'm legally a girl at last. I read it on the train and cried. And then I read it here in the loo and cried again and wiped my face and washed my hands. I must have left it by the sink. And now they'll read it and they'll know. I almost faint. But then instead, I sell a case of Sauvignon and walk. Don't run! Don't run! And there it is. It looks untouched. Wine tasting. There's always a bottle or two to try. We have to know the product. We discuss it sagely, in depth, starting at 10 a.m. each day. There's a lot to learn. I could become a buyer if I passed the exams. I could become the next Jancis Robinson. Coming into work with new breasts. I wear a high-necked top and hope that hides the change. It's stripy and pretty loose. I hate how it looks, but I think nobody notices my breasts. Of course, I'm wrong. Targets. I meet the targets every time. You have to be ruthless. The people you call are resources, numbers. Of course, I want them to like their wine. Whatever. Wine is great. And once you're done, you get to leave. These are and aren't relationships. What would they think of me? Perhaps they wouldn't care. Just make the sale and go to the pub. Boy who likes me, Nick. I mean, he's pathetic. He's always trying to be nice to me. He always agrees with things I say. He sits by me and tells me jokes. He's nerdy, beardy, round and short. We talk about Riesling, and also sometimes Chenin Blanc. We're sort of friends. Later, when everything's gone wrong, I'll start screaming at him that everybody can see that I'm a transsexual and now I have to die. And he will say, it doesn't matter, that I am a beautiful woman, or something fucking dumb like that. Poems. At home, I write about how I can't imagine or inhabit my body. It's winter. All I am is attempts to predict and meet your expectations. My gender is, what do you think you're seeing today? In my poems, I live in a desert, and there's nobody there but me. My flatmate leaves, and I don't care. I go to gay clubs and pretend I'm someone's straight best friend. I throw a lot of dinner parties. I'm always drunk. The employee discount is my favourite thing about this job. Boy I like, Tom. He's stocky and blonde and grins like he knows everything. And he's great at selling. Always slightly ahead in the stats. He has an open relationship, so I pursue them both. At their flat, I try to play footsie with his wife. When she goes to bed, I sit up and drink with him. He tells me he used to be a chef and demonstrates the proper way to poach an egg. Another night like this, when I am not expecting it at all, he is the one who tells me they all know I'm trans. Or like, there's not unanimous accord on it, but there's been talk, and he, of course, is sure. He says he knew the second that we met. Although I cry, although I implore him desperately, he can't explain this insight of which he is so proud. On Monday, I'll still have to meet his gays and say hello. I'll have to meet everyone's gays and pick up the fucking phone. Monday. I meet everyone's gays and pick up the fucking phone. I don't control my thoughts, but I control my face. It's a good day if what you're asking me about is how much shitty wine I force people to buy. Computer. It has its programs. Dialer, targets, offers list. It's never tired. Never even gets turned off. Every morning, it's there. It says, call them, ask them, do they need some wine? Then lie the way I prompt you to until they buy, or else hang up. It is my frenemy. I cover it with drawings I do of skulls, or little cartoons of people who hate their lives. I dance around the office and offer a single page of Blake to everyone. Songs of experience. I know they know, but apart from Nick, who I finally kiss, I never mention it to anyone at all. Car park. They have this model wine press in the parking lot, full size. I'm inside, calling my mother on the phone and saying, this can't go on. I do not tell her that they figured out I'm trans, or that Ben left. I miss him so. I cry to Ryan Adams songs. I do not say, my understanding of myself is a dead end. I can't be normal. It doesn't work. Instead, I say, perhaps this isn't the right career for me. Perhaps I'm not cut out for office work. Sorry. Inside the ton, against the cheap oak planks, peering through the gap, getting ready to turn and run. Resignation. I'm never going to feel again. I almost want to give up wine. All I did was lose and lose.